Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about two products in this video, both from the Innisfree Colour Picker Camellia collection. I have one of the blushes and then I have the three tints as well. Unfortunately for everything in this collection I can't really find product descriptions, so we don't have product descriptions for everything, and then rather than doing the blush by itself and the tints, I'm just going to show you the packaging for everything, swatches for everything, and the final thoughts for everything, because it seems stupid to just talk about one blush. So if you'd like to see the packaging, swatches, and final thoughts, please click to those parts now. So the packaging for the tints is really cute. It's very bland and it looks like every other Innisfree tint that I've ever had, except that it has that really nice pale pink at the top, which matches the pale pink of the rest of the collection. So on the back of the blush it also has that same pale pink. I like that for the tints that they have given us different colours on the outside. It makes it way easier when you're trying to pick up each individual shade and tell which one is which. In comparison, sometimes the tints can have really similar packaging and I have to search for the shade name down the bottom and it's such a waste of time. The blush unfortunately did come broken, so mine is like, you get what you get with it. But I have the shade pink. There is also a red, but that sold out like pretty much immediately. I was so frustrated by that, but again, it's fine. But the blush has its own cute little clear window on top with the Innisfree logo in gold, and then it has a floral platen. There are three colours of the tints: a pinkish orange, which should be pink but definitely looks orange to me, a mid-tone pink, and then a darker berry pink too. I was only able to pick up the one blush shade, which is why it's coming in its own little review. Mine is deteriorating by the day, so I might actually have to get rid of a bit of that. Hold on. I'm just taking a little chunk out that was kind of flying around, because otherwise what happens is when you apply the blushes, the chunks will create an uneven tone. So even though it's like, oh, it's not that broken, because there are broken edges on it, it does break more as you use it, and yeah, it does not work as well as it should, which I'm super sad about because it is sold out and it looks so nice. I love this colour. It's like the perfect there but not there blush for me in terms of pink. It's like almost up there with my NARS Sex Appeal, but pink. So this is how it looks on one cheek here. This is without the blush. The difference is very subtle. So this is the cheek without. And then with, like, can you see that just tiny amount of like shimmery-ish pink? It's not really shimmery, but it kind of has like a luminosity to it. I love it. But yes, very difficult to see. I am really hoping that Innisfree brings out a second round so I can buy another one that's not broken. And I also really want to try the red one. It looked so cool. I don't know, I really like the look of it. So I can pretty much load this brush up, apply it wherever I want to. It's super messy and it still just looks beautiful. So this is the Blooming Blushes shade number 2. Number 1 is the darker shade, which is a berry red. I am going to apply these as gradients, so I'm going to put a little bit in the middle and then I'm going to smudge with the finger. Okay, so this is really pretty as a gradient. It's not too intense, but it gives like a really nice, like just bitten kind of like stain to the lips. I think it's really pretty. And then I'm going to do a full lip application. Okay, so this is how the shade is looking. I think it's a really beautiful shade and I actually think it looks so nice. I am really in love with this one. Probably like my favorite one out of the collection, surprisingly, because there is a light pink at the very end. It's just like the perfect berry red. It's matte without feeling dry, and it doesn't feel dry a little bit throughout the day, but it doesn't look crinkly or wrinkly. It just looks like the perfect like red velvet lipstick that I always wanted, but can never have because my lips are so dry. So I'm super stoked with this one. I love it. The only thing that I have to say about the products in the application for all of them is that they have a square tip. So the doe foot applicator is not really curved or anything, it's just a flat square. And when you go to do your cupid's bow, it is actually kind of difficult. So I had to kind of like correct it, put a little bit more on, take a little bit off with my fingers. It's not very easy, and because it's square, it's quite sharp. Like it feels like it's like dragging on my skin, and I'm worried that like the Romance lip tints that keep getting the fuzzy stuff ripped off because they're also square, that the fuzziness is going to be ripping off because I can feel something there, which is really irritating to my lips. But overall, they're still okay to apply and it just looks so nice. So this is shade number 1. Shade number 2 is kind of like an orangey pink. So here's how this one looks as a gradient. I don't mind it. It's quite nice actually as a gradient because I get a little bit more of the pink of my own lips. It's a little bit more orange than what I would like, but still a nice color. So now I'll do the full application. And this is how the full cover lipstick looks. I think it is really pretty. I just cannot decide if I like it or not. I feel like it is very kind of out of my comfort zone in terms of that it's like an orangey red, but see, I feel like I'd like it more in autumn. Just because like at the moment I'm wearing like the baby, actually it looks kind of nice with the baby blue, like baby blue and pink. It probably doesn't look very good with the skirt, but my face is far enough away from the skirt that I don't think it matters. But yeah, I'm really interested to see if I like this a little bit more in a different season. Which you guys I'm sure have heard me say quite a few times. I got lipstick all over the tube when I was applying it. How? I don't know. Must be on my hands. But yeah, I think that this is a really pretty color. So this is number 2. Number 3 is a surprisingly peachy color, even though it looks pretty pink in the tube. So here's how this one would look as a gradient, which is my preferred way to apply it. I think that this one looks really nice, a little bit more sheer than the full coverage because I think it mixes a little bit more with the natural pink of my own lips, and personally I think that it looks nicer on me. So if you want it to be a little bit pinker, then I recommend applying less of it. But then I'm going to apply the proper amount. And here's how it looks as a full lip color. I think the color is really pretty. I did think it was going to be a bit more pink, like in comparison to the actual lipstick tube. It's not quite the same, but I still think it's a really nice color. It's one of those really nice light peaches, but it doesn't make my lips look too wrinkly. There's a little bit of wrinkliness, but overall it's pretty good. So I'm hoping to get a lot of wear out of this one. So this is shade number 3. So overall, I absolutely love the blush, and it's a hit or miss with the tints. I could take them or leave them. So let me rave about the blush for a few minutes. This is the only color that I picked up, but the formula is so nice. It's like soft satin, luminous, everything I want in a blusher. Really, really pale color though. So the pink itself does not look that pale, but maybe it's just the amount of pigment that comes off is just not very much. I mean, I guess it looks like what is on my cheek, vaguely, but I have to use a lot of the blush to get any color. It blends beautifully. But if you have a deeper skin tone, you may struggle with this. I know that they did bring out a very deep red. I wasn't able to pick it up. Potentially that could work better for deeper skin tones, or you could mix the two. But if you are on the lighter shade, I would definitely recommend it because I just think that it looks so nice on paler skin. Other than that, the longevity is fine. The application, you have to use a lot of it, but it's fine. I absolutely love it, and even though mine is broken, I'm going to try and source one that isn't broken. I will still continue to keep and use this one because I just think that it looks so nice. The tints. I was really excited about this lighter shade, which is number 3, but when it turned up, it wasn't really pink, it was kind of orange. It doesn't look like this on the outside. It looks like a peachy orange. It wasn't very flattering to the lips. And it just didn't look very good, so I was a bit disappointed. The color that I like the most is actually the darkest one, which is the one I'm wearing at the moment, and this is number 1. I think that this is a really beautiful color, however it is not unique. I have this color already in my collection, and then the middle pink, it was okay. I didn't mind it, but I wasn't exactly in love with it. The formula is slightly different between the colors. I feel like the lighter formula is very clingy on those dry patches, whereas the darker formula kind of glides over it a little bit better, or it just hides it a little bit better. So I don't have any problems with the formula on the darker one, but I don't like the formula on the lighter one. It's very inconsistent for me. The middle one is meh, it's in the middle. The other thing that I didn't really like about these is the applicator. They have a very square spade-shaped applicator, and instead of like a pointed doe foot. I also found that it was really sharp on my lips, like I could feel it dragging. It wasn't easy to blend using the applicator. I just really disliked the applicator for these tints, unfortunately. I really, really wanted to like them because they had such promise, but they're not my favorites, unfortunately. In no way does that mean that they are a bad product. I think the colors themselves are pretty, sometimes not unique or not what I was looking for, but if you look at the pictures of people wearing these tints and you think, oh my gosh, I really like that color, you don't mind that the doe foot is squarer rather than pointed. You don't mind, I mean, mine just might be scratchy because I have the worst luck with doe foot applicators, but you know, there are these kind of little negative thoughts that I have about them that makes me not really like them for myself. However, that does not mean that someone else is not going to love them. So I think for me, the tints I'm going to be giving up, but the blush I'm going to be holding on to, at least until I can replace it with a non-broken one, and hopefully pick up the red shade in the future. Like, So thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!